So my take is this week we are going to see the Senate do their thing, and then regarding who's moved to court will also try and challenge that impeachment. And the only reason, by the way, I am so confident that this could go through, or this will go through, not could, it's going to go through, is because of what the National Assembly does. And as I mentioned in a video I earlier on also put up, I said that the only three people in this country currently who can save the deputy president. I can't, you can't, the members of parliament can't, Senate could, but they won't for the obvious reasons. So it's President William Ruto, Raila Odinga, and former President Uhuru Kenyatta. So this week is heavy because the Senate has drafted the articles of impeachment. I am so certain that this week they know what is going to happen. They know the charges and they are preparing the ground. So what happens tomorrow is preliminaries still, putting documentation in order. The deputy president has been given 5 record hours to defend himself. He will be appearing in the Senate, I bet, somewhere in the afternoon on Wednesday. And then Thursday, they will finish this and close. I'm also suspecting that it could be the movers case on Wednesday. Then on Thursday, it becomes the deputy president's case. And then they vote later on in the evening. And somehow a lot of people say this thing is gone. Amen. So to lay the ground is the process that follows after that. And one of the biggest questions that we have had to contend with in the last few days is what is the part of the court? What part does the court play in the whole of these impeachment proceedings? And I did a video, I think earlier on in the week that was, explaining that the court has no role, and I got a lot of backlash. And people asked me questions such as, why then do they save governors and all that? I expect this to come out today. That's why I was asking as many advocates to tune in. So what is the role of the court? So the impeachment and the courts now, that's what we are looking at. And then we have to balance justice for Rigathi Gachagua, balance justice for the mover of the motion, balance justice for the president who is very quiet. And of course, on the deputy side, or on the deputy president side, we also have to look at his options also tonight. So for me, it's this is how it's going to play out. The courts will only involve themselves in looking at the process. They will not involve themselves in the political process of impeachment. What do I mean? So public participation is key. Article 47 of the Constitution, was he afforded fair hearing? Was he given time to defend himself? Then the other thing that perhaps they look at, perhaps I'm not sure they'll get involved with the issues of impeachment proper, which means the Article 150, where they will not be looking at the allegations versus what the Constitution says. I don't think they will really get involved in that. They would be going too deep into a political process under the judiciary. So my take is this week we are going to see the Senate do their thing, and then regarding who's moved to court will also try and challenge that impeachment. And the only reason, by the way, I am so confident that this could go through, or this will go through, not could, it's going to go through, is because of what the National Assembly does. And as I mentioned in a video I earlier on also put up, I said that the only 3 people in this country currently who can save the deputy president. I can't, you can't, the members of parliament can't, Senate could, but they won't for the obvious reasons. So it's President William Ruto, Raila Odinga, and former President Uhuru Kenyatta. I bet those are the only 3 people that can move in now and save the deputy president. So the Senate has 47 plus about 20 nominated, a total of 67, if I'm not wrong. Now, there's been this question that will all the 67 vote, or it's only those with the mandate of the people, which means those who have been elected, who are 47. Now, my take is this, 47 will vote. However, Senate also has the nominated members who are also representing delegations. So there's delegation for the youth, for example. That voice needs to be heard. They need to take a vote. There's delegation from the persons able differently. That delegation has to vote. There's a delegation from women. That delegation has to vote. So my take is all the 67 senators will have a vote. Now, anyone can contradict me or help me explain this. Secondly, my take is this. The deputy president does not need numbers in the Senate except numbers to frustrate the passing of this motion. So what does he need? He only needs 23 or 24. If he gets 24 on his side, then they will not get the 2/3 because the threshold must be met of all the senators, in my opinion, all the 67. So he must get at least 23 or 24 senators on his side in order to frustrate this vote. Now, you asked again if his numbers add up. I'm thinking the only way to know this is look at how many counties are from his region. Count the number of counties. Are they 6? Are they 8? Are they 4? If they vote in his favor, then go to Kalonzo Musyoka, who said that Wiper will stand with the deputy. Count the number of senators that have been sponsored to the Senate by Kalonzo Musyoka's party. Add them to the number of senators from that region. Get that number. Are they 2, 3, or 4? Add those numbers. Then go to Eugene Wamalwa, DAPK, who has also said that he will stand with the DP Rigathi Gachagua. Count the number of people he's sponsoring to the Senate through DAPK. Apart from that, look for ODM, for example, who have said they are impartial in this. How many delegations are they sending to the Senate? Add all those numbers, plus friends who have been working with the deputy president. That is the only way to see or to know how many people can be on his side. He only needs about 24. If I'm wrong, someone can correct me to frustrate that vote. So yes, I think all of them, 67, will vote. And as I have explained, that is how we can determine how many people will be on his side or not. I think the law affords everyone that fair opportunity. I was just looking at Article 47 of the Constitution. How it's resolved, I think that line also needs to be very clear on what can go to court and what can't go to court and what can just be dealt with as an administrative problem and all that. I'd like to share with you what's going to happen going forward, because this is also important in understanding the process. So, how it will play out on Thursday. The Senate, as we all know, will be the trial house, or it's the trial house. So the process, we all know, it will be inquisitive, meaning the Senate will actively seek the establishment of facts in the case from both sides of the divide. So there will be presentation and examination of the evidence. Both the accuser, who here is Mutuse, and the deputy president, who is accused, they'll be given an opportunity to present their evidence. Each party can also challenge the evidence that will be provided from the other side, and witnesses may be called to testify, and documents will also be submitted in this case. And we already know a number of witnesses, including the governor of Nairobi is a witness from the prosecution side. You know, these are quasi-judicial process. Then the 47 senators now, they will act as the jury. They will also have additional roles that will go beyond the traditional jury, because this will be, a trial. So senators will not remain passive observers. They can ask questions to the witnesses. They can seek clarifications if they feel something is not clear on the facts of the case. And the hearing of all the evidence and arguments will be done. The senators will deliberate on what they've had before court, that quasi-judicial process. They'll have to ask questions regarding what has been tabled before them. So when that is concluded, then they can determine the outcome of the impeachment trial. And we all know that it will function as a court. And once the Senate confirms that impeachment, what happens next is they will definitely, the deputy president, if he still feels that he has been removed from office without justification, he is allowed to go to court. So at that point is when we expect to see the deputy president going to court. And just like it has been explained here, the court will examine mostly the process that was followed in this trial at the Senate. So if they find that the trial followed the due process, then they can uphold it also. If they find that it fell short, then they will uphold it, the impeachment, and regarding Gachagua can start fighting from outside. I'm also looking at a scenario where it's most likely that even if he is impeached or he is not impeached, there could be Kenyans who could go to court and challenge some of those grounds, like not even gross violation, like the criminal cases.